gentlemen, we are back. So, all I can say is I am so happy. Why am I so happy? Well, I'm out of breath and stuff, trying to get my breath back, composure. But yeah, I think I for sure made the right decision, y'all, of coming here to Cape Fear Aviation. Ain't supposed to swallow down, but ain't really not much left of it. It got way too dry and wet. But I made the right decision to join the Cape Fear Aviation family. Shout out to everybody here of the school, past, present, and future. Wait, that's the ending of it. I was talking about the flight, so the overview of the flight. Only went up, according to my instructor, Mr. Dave Herwig, for 30 minutes. About a half hour. I felt like it was an hour and a half, but no, it wasn't that long. Again, I'll put all the information as far as about the airport. I'll tag it in along with the school all over the place on this video. But we just took off from its uncontrolled airspace and uncontrolled grassy strip. Well, the grass part of the strip, that's for the taxiway portion of the strip. The rest of it, the runway itself, like I said, is asphalt. That wasn't built until after the fact, a long time ago back in the day. Again, history information and all that stuff will be added in here. So yeah, we got right to it. He wasn't on site immediately. I had to wait for him. He was still in the air, coming back from in the pattern with his current previous student. And so good people came and landed with another instructor and student, I guess, behind them or something. And I don't know how else to say it or put it. I mean, they came in and they did their debrief. Dave and the gentleman, the student, older guy, and that guy took off. And Dave, on the other hand, I guess, had him a quick late breakfast, egg or sausage McMuffin or something. He had went to go warm up in the microwave in their break room in the back. But nonetheless, I was geared up and ready to go. When I first walked in there was a female instructor ground training her female student at the time, just saying, going over a lesson, what their flight lesson is going to be for the day. Like I said, I don't know if I even said it already, but they don't mess around. They get you in and they get you out. And that's what they did with me. We went up for a half hour, and came back down. And it is obviously a busy day today, even though it doesn't seem that way, that it's quiet out here. But in reality, it actually is busy, because as soon as I came out after my flight, he already said, they told me before we even walked out to the plane, that he said, yeah, he's a busy guy just like the rest of them. And again, no wonder, because of how less economical they are as a school. So, I mean, yeah, they still charge about an hour on aircraft rental fees, that are over $100 and change. And for the instructor fees, $50 plus dollars and change. I think $55 and change. Or $55 an hour. But you want to know how I'm speaking at, so that's what I'm getting at now. The cost of my flight lesson, now my second lesson overall, but technically my first lesson now under their authority in school, cost me, wait for it, just wait for it, you're gonna be surprised how much I paid for this lesson. I mean, this is how it should be I'm saying in my opinion, a flat rate, but that's not always the case. Let me get up close to the camera. Uh-oh, a little ASMR kicking in. Uh-oh. I paid $95 even. $95 even. $95. Not trying to be loud though, but I paid $95 even, y'all. That's it. They're compared to $450 some dollars. Well, $444 and I think 40 cents. But to add the credit card surcharge, that was $457 and some change at the other school, like Jess or what happened. It was like another student or instructor just showed up. See, that's what I'm saying. It's busy as is. It's a beautiful day, you know. So I'm looking to network with these people and again be a part of the family. But yes, $95 a change. That is a huge difference, especially when it's your first, whether it's your first lesson, whatever, to this whole thing. So yes, they take cards too. So yes, there wasn't obviously no surcharge with that. But what was I gonna say? They take cash, I guess checks as well. Because his last instructor that came in, he pulled out a lot of cash and everything. And well, yeah, because the longer you go up, the more economical, cost effective it is. So, like I said, I only went up for a half hour, and yeah. So again, that's not going to be like that every time. So, but my next lesson is not going to be probably by end of March or early April. Not saying as far as around April Fools, but it won't be, fortunately, for all of February or end of February, like History Month. Why? Because, like I said, saving up as is to get my own place once again, and with the rates that they are as is, this is freaking pandemic or whatever. It is what it is. But yeah. So now, as far as the overview of the flight, it was pretty much the same as I'd had with my last lesson in flight test, where I thought at school. To say again, it's nothing against them. Let me just put this out there. I've already spoke to them and I said that I've transitioned schools. You know, they was curious as to which one. I told them, I said, well, Cape Fear. They said, hey, there's nothing wrong. Say you can go there, you can go Blue Line, wherever. So there's nothing wrong with those schools. You know, as Scooby says about trucking company, it's somebody's opinion about a company or a school that they like or don't like. But he's always saying, do your homework, do your research. And that's exactly what I did. I did my homework, I did my research, and I'm happy with the results thus far. Now, I wasn't happy, back then with paying that much money, but I was told that, you know, such and such about neglectful with maintenance on planes and stuff. Yeah, maybe. All I know is that, I don't even know if I mentioned that in that video, that overview video, that's saying, hey, the seat adjuster was broke on the Cessna I had then. You know what I mean? So, well, broke to where I couldn't pull the seat up and have to lean forward at the controls. Now, yeah, that's uncomfortable. But this plane I was in today was a Piper Aztec Warrior. So it's a low wing, as a fixed wing, low wing. So I wasn't in a high wing Cessna this time, 152 out of 172. But at the end of the day, I can care less on what plane I'm in. I've already explained to both my instructors, my previous instructor, now my previous instructor Brandon, flight just now my current instructor Dave here at Cape Fear. I said, it doesn't matter to me what performs better. I don't have a preference. I just want to get all my training done here as much as possible. And like I said, they're very, very social media friendly, and just like I said, I have connections. I got newer connections as is over here with these folks, and I couldn't ask for more. And before anybody who would have come across this in the foreseeable future or whatever, no, this is not like a recruitment a recruiter video by no means, because again, everybody want to get that twist and say, "Oh, am I a recruiter?" Like, no, I'm just a student here, like anybody else. Or if I was an instructor here, like anybody else. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm recruiting. You can just go to their website and it says they're hiring CFIs. So I just spoke to one CFI before I started this recording. I mean, he's not. I'm. What am I saying? He has his CFI rating. I think he said he's getting his CSII, but he's applied here. He just had the interview. That's what that was. So he hasn't left yet, but he lives all the way down in Sanford. He did not do his training here at all at Cape Fear. He actually down in Vero Beach, Florida, started all of his training up until, I guess, the CFI rating. Now down in Sanford, they got an airport down there. That's Sanford, Lee County Airport, Raleigh Executive Jetport, formerly Sanford Lee County Airport or Jetport. I like this plane right here. I forgot his name, but he, I think, owns it. And basically, it's a Cessna 152 or 72, and it's all colored blue, high wing, all decked out. But on the tail, it has the Pan Am logo on it. Y'all, well, this was back in the day during the 60s and the 70s when they were around. They're not around in business anymore. That's a tape jet flying over, I think, or something. But yeah, it has Pan Am on it. I wish I could have gotten footage of. I'll probably put as far as the logo, but for those of you that are familiar with Pan Am, like maybe Brother Russ, pretty sure you probably would be familiar with Pan Am, a good brother. But yeah, you know, I'm only familiar with it from seeing it in the movies up to date, because I wasn't born, but I was born in 1991. But anywho, he just took off. The guy just took off with it. Probably just gonna fly around the pattern or something, because that's what we did. Me and Dave, we did the pre-flight inspection. Like I told y'all in my last video, that's what you do. Pre-flight inspection. You test for everything. Try not to make this video long, y'all, but you test for everything, because I'm at 12 minutes on this one. You test for everything. Check again, just like a car. Like I said in that video with the actually Blue Line when I did the Discovery flight. You do everything, like I said, pre-flight today. I might post that on here somewhere. You do all your pre-flight stuff just like a vehicle, car, bus, commercial vehicle, whatever. With the POH, the checklist thing, cockpit management, you get in the cockpit. Now, he told me, my instructor, Dave, that because I did it twice, but it was not on purpose, it was not intentional. But because of the flap extenders that are being extended out, not to step on those when you climb in and out of the plane. Because of those pipers in particular, you can only get in on the right side. I learned that from Mike Ojo's videos recently of a guy who he interviewed or did an interview on in an overview of his plane down in Gwinnett County in Lawrenceville, LZU. Lima Zulu uniform. But anywho, yeah, you can only get in on the right side, unfortunately, to climb over to the left seat. That's for everybody and everyone. You as pilot in command, your instructor, or fellow passengers or whatever, all got to get in on that right seat. I know it sucks. It ain't like the Cessnas where you can get in on both sides, both doors. But yeah, he's just flying around in the pattern right now. So yeah, we get in the plane. Now he tugged the plane out, my instructor. He tugged the plane out, and just right there on the little grassy apron, basically, with the little tugger. They don't have, I don't know if they the electrical robot like tuggers that pulls it out for you, or a remote control tugger thing. No, you gotta pull the actual handle and pull that thing out. No, they're not heavy. This Piper, they're not heavy. They're actually light. Oh, before we even did pre-flight, when we were in the office, we went over the weight and balance. That wasn't nothing. I said I was about maybe close to maybe the 200 pounds. He said his weight was way less than maybe like 160. So that wasn't a factor. We had no baggage besides just my bag and stuff or whatever, and that's it. I mean, all he had was this bottle of water, stuff, you know, the usual. He was just saying, just bring my logbook, and they provide for our headset. I didn't need as far as necessarily to bring. Well, I had to because come to find out, my birth certificate did not transfer or did not switch or transfer over from flight jets in the flight circle on my flight circle account. So he said I need a copy of that, your birth certificate. And luckily, I still had it from what my mother emailed to me this past September from my Discovery flight at Blue Line. So, boom, boom, boom. He's like, I also need your driver's license, your Class 1 medical, FAA medical. You need that, all that for flying. Because he asked me, do I have a student pilot certificate yet? I told him, said, no, I forgot that. I'll ask him next time. I ain't worried. We ain't worried about that right now. Because again, that's down the line. You need that only, but by the time you solo is what I'm getting at. You can't have it with you without solo. You can't solo. I'm saying you can't solo without it. You can't solo without a student pilot certificate. So, but I'll get that eventually. And then when I do cross country, same thing. You gotta have it with you then. You gotta already have that. You gotta already have your class medical, FAA, whether it's class 1, 2, or 3. Your driver's license, like I said already, and your birth certificate and stuff. You gotta have all those things. I mean, as far as also with cross country, then yeah, you have your plotter and all that because you're going from point A to point B and coming back and all that. All we did today was we didn't do the traffic pattern, laps around the pattern. We went out to the practice area, which is close to Elizabethtown, just on the edge of it. Like, I think we were in Tar Heel, just on the pattern. So, not much obstacles you gotta look out for, maybe a few, but they're above 500 feet AGL, probably at 1,000 feet. I'm talking about TV tower antennas and stuff. Not that many, maybe like 2 of them I've seen along the way. There's like a lake and like another farmland or something. So we were probably 10 to 15 nautical miles away from the airstrip itself. Again, this is 2 Gulf Charlie, Grays Creek Airport in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And the instructor and the other student who took off in front of us on the runway, because we sat and waited behind them. I once again started the plane, just so y'all know, but it wasn't easy this time because we had to do some priming after the fact, not before. Well, he did the priming, my instructor Dave, after the fact, since it wouldn't start. Well, that's because whoever had the plane last, yeah, well, that's also the other thing. When we came back and landed, come to find out that plane now needs to undergo 100 hour inspection maintenance. So that's a wrap for that. But then that's normal. You know, when the plane is due for 100 hours, I'll put up one of the videos of restaurants say, yeah, go for a 100-hour inspection. But yeah, that's what you'll learn out here in aviation, in general, not just general aviation, but all together. In the aviation industry, you gotta always go under a biannual maintenance or 100-hour maintenance. I mean, so. But yeah, we went out to the practice area. The other instructor and student that took off before us, then we took off after them, and he told me to pull nose back. The headset I had they provided was a different brand, and again, trying to get used to lighter aircraft, and I think we made a turn to the left again to stay away from Fayetteville Regional's airspace and subclass Charlie, and we came back around and flew midfield over the airport or airfield, and from where they were, we were right in their sight of traffic. And my instructor's like, if you want to catch up with them and fly above them like a formation flight, basically what he was asking. I said, yeah, sure. And we caught up with him fast, because that Piper, I mean, on a cool day like this, they compare it to a hot day. That's why I was saying before about density, altitude, and aircraft performance. They're gonna, and even with weight and balance, the lighter you are, the more travel and faster these things are gonna perform. So we got there and caught up with them in no time. We were right below them, and we just looked up, and I just waved. I'm like, wow, this was a quick quickie formation flight. And then we went our separate ways. We kept straight. They went back the opposite way. and we stayed on the same frequency, which is what they use here for Grace Creek. They don't share as far as, well, they share as far as Fayetteville's approach, the parts for the approach frequency, but Grace Creek has its own radio frequency for CTAP to announce their intentions in and out of here to one another. But if we're contacting Fayetteville, if they're contacting Fayetteville, approaching the parts of, that's a separate frequency, again, from their airspace. So yeah, we just kept going, like I said, about leg stuff. I practiced the turns. I did the same maneuvers from the climbs, turns, I guess steep turns, basically in descent or power off descent that my previous instructor was saying. And then my current instructor asked me, said, yeah, have you done the stalls yet? I said, yeah. Well, before getting to the stalls, we did the slow flight. I said, yeah, that's the only other thing yet that I have been introduced to previously. So we did the slow flight, and that's pretty much practicing before it almost turns into a stall. That's the purpose of slow flight. You don't want it to stall. This is for landing practice purposes while in the air. And then, yes, going back to doing the stalls after that. And I told him, I said, yeah, everybody, I'll do separate videos more on this, but everybody just, that's your biggest fear when you're new to this whole thing. It's part of the ACS Airman Certification Standards. That's what ACS stands for, is these stalls. So I don't know what else to say or tell you, but we only did 2 stalls. Well, because the first one I was rusty on. I panicked, to be honest with you, like I did last time with my last instructor. And then the second time it was fine. But that's the thing, like I said, when the wings out the air, wings stop producing lift, that stall horn comes on. It's aggravating, it's annoying, and people might gonna ask me, well, is there any way you can mute that or turn it off? Well, unfortunately, the answer to that is no. Apparently, no, not at all. That's what that thing is for. Because if that thing, and speaking of that, they got a, it's a, I don't know if I mentioned in the last video or then for overview on flight, but they got a test beaker, a stall test beaker is what it's called, and it goes to where the stall horn is on the, or the motion detector on the wing. I think it's the right wing or left wing, one of the two. And you put it on there attached. They don't have one. They said over here or for this plane or whatever, but the other school has it. Flight Test has them. But yeah, you just test that beaker and it make sure that the stall horn comes on. So in case if that were to happen in flight, it would work. The stall horn works just fine. But yeah, so you can't mute that or whatever. That's what it's for. But without it, then you just look at your airspeed, or if your airspeed needle wasn't working, then why would you be flying in the first place? That's a maintenance, life or death situation issue. So what else? We didn't have no wheel shimmy, because I learned from Russ's last video about what a wheel shimmy is. We didn't have that. I thought we did coming back to land. I landed the plane myself. That was the first time we landed the plane and taking off with it. I can't. I'm sorry for making the video too long. I just, Dave is a great guy. Again, I found out him through his student that told me about him and the school, and his student also told me about their buddy of theirs who's also a fellow YouTuber. I'll put his information up, Chris Palmer of Angle of Attack. Again, shout out to you, sir, and Chris himself, who again told me about you and Dave. And it's just, I couldn't ask for more. Y'all, besides, they already got one of their planes with GoPro mounts on it. But that's the thing, I don't have that set up yet, GoPros and stuff, but I will. I told Dave, I said, yeah, about my YouTube ambitions for piloting. Another one's taking out their red one when I first pulled up. But yeah, y'all. So after me checking it out on the first stall, I don't know if that was, oh, those were power off stalls we did. We didn't do power on. But power on is pretty much the same procedures as it is power off. So power off, you just pull the throttle back and you just pull the nose up, all the way up, until you bleed off airspeed. When you lose that airspeed, stall horn comes on, I think, below 40 knots. And I told you what a stall horn sounds like. It goes off like that, and so you know, nose drop goes forward, and you're on a nose dive like you're going towards the ground. Well, we were flying over a lake, so we were going diving towards water. I'm like, whoa. But again, it's like a roller coaster ride. You go all the way up to the top and you wait for that drop. That's all it is. And even with a power on stall, when you push the throttle in and you just let the nose go up, that happens on takeoff, really. That's what they mean by VX and VY angle speeds and climb speeds. Don't let the nose go up too high because you can stall that way. That's what a power on stall would be, because the power is at full throttle. So after doing the second power off stall, we came on back here and landed. We joined in the pattern again from midfield, going down the runway, and all that time he was doing all the radio calls, you know, to their traffic control frequency. I think it's 122.9 or something like that. And I asked him before all that, I said, I practice some more like on the do. He said, yeah, that'll be down the line when you get to do some radio calls. So I said, no problem. Again, try to put the mic up to your mouth, close to your mouth though, without making contact with it, whatever. But yeah, y'all, checking for lights and all that, like they're doing right now. These Kurt Susan instructors. That's all it is. That's all they do. It's train, train, train. They've been doing this for a long, long time. But again, who would have never thought that the owners here, this must be their house behind me. I can show y'all. There, no, that's pointed that way. Damn, did I get in the shot? Yeah, there's the house back there. That must be theirs. I told Dave, I said, I already spoke to Cindy weeks ago about, you know, the meetup and such and such. But yeah, that's it. That's the only as far as air traffic over here, apart from outside of Fayetteville Regional. So, but yeah, we came in the pattern, back in the pattern. I landed the plane. He was guiding me along with the rudder pedals. I gotta get used to the rudder pedals on how they operate, and as far as the brakes themselves, not toe brakes, but the flaps. That's actually a pull handle. That if it was like the flaps is like a emergency like pull handle thing, but it's the flaps. But you pull those up and down to lower them. As far as the yoke itself, that's for the ailerons, elevator trim, and all that. Well, trim wheel is right there in the middle. So that was my first time actually flying in the pilot though, once again. So yeah, we landed, or I landed the plane with his guidance, and we just taxied on down. So yeah, about the wheel shimmy, I thought it was a wheel shimmy on our end coming down the runway. No, come to find out that's just the rough pavement back there, or we hit a bump or something like a pothole. Because again, like I said, this is privately owned, but allowed as far as our students. It's not open to the public, because if that was the case, it would be general aviation aircraft for that sort of piston engine and stuff coming in. But yeah, nonetheless, yeah, we taxied on down. He said all the way down to the end where we came from. You're going to slide in off the runway into the grass apron. Again, the grass apron is as of the taxiway. There's no paid taxiway. As far as airport lighting here, I didn't ask, or as far as it said on the website, something about airport lighting at night. I don't know as far as doing night flying. But that'll be another time. But I'm pretty sure. They had to have some type of night flying on. But yeah, so we taxied all the way back, and I helped him push the plane. Hand pushed it back in the hangar, and he's like, yeah, just pull the mixture back to lean, and that'll just shut the plane off without having to turn the key ignition off. I did that afterwards, and then put it on the dash. That's what you're supposed to do in these type of training aircraft. You put the keys on the dash. Originally, they go back in the box. where you found them. That's for each plane. They put them in the office with the POH and the documents and stuff. And yeah, then we hand pushed it in the hangar, and I was on my way, good to go. And then that's when I met these other guys here, do a little networking. I just took a guy's number before I even started this recording. He's still here, like I said. And yeah, that's it. Got a helicopter, yeah. Oh, I was gonna say birds. Again, thank you everybody for tuning into the bird strike video reaction I did. Again, I can't stress that enough, and I'll put up Russ's video on that too, on here somewhere, about that. But we see 3 of them while heading towards the practice area, and I thought they was gonna come in our direction. He's like, no, they're gonna go this way, and I just wanted to be on full alert though. And just now I had seen some, but no, it's not. That's not technically really an issue here, especially when you're out in the open range. But then again, you just never know. The open range of, you know what I mean, that type of stuff. I'm already on 31 minutes, so that was the other thing. Army helicopter probably heading to the base, over stuff. Again, we're right next to their airspace, along with Fayetteville region. This is all Fayetteville. This is just east of it. We're more close, like I said, to Tar Heel, next town over, and then Elizabethtown. So, but yeah, they do a lot here, but they don't offer ATP rating. That's the last thing I want to say. They don't offer that. You have to get that at actual ATP's flight school, which is what I'm going to need in order to fly a quarter charter and stuff. But that's it, y'all. I've been on here since then, and let me see. I don't know if I'm going to divide this down or whatever. Wait and see. This might be part 1, part 2, part 3. I don't know. There shouldn't be that long. Wait and see. Again, it's a beautiful day. The rest of the day. Yeah, see, there's one bird right there right now. So it's nowhere near the helicopter, but no, I'm just saying. Just gliding around. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here. I still got to unpack and everything, and yeah, and get in touch with my boss, see if I go back to work. Cause I missed 2 weeks work with it. Blah, 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 blah. All right, y'all. From my channel to your channel. Salute. And salute to Cape Fear Aviation. Gulfstream Entertainment, Michael Carter Studios and Production. Oh yeah, if you enjoy my channel and video, check out these channels and videos.